Are you all wondering what the heck is going on in the world today? By the end of this video, you will have a better understanding of how to keep a level head in today's traumatic world. Hey, Awaken the Shift group. It's Todd and I here from LifeQuest Institute. Some of you know us as Mystery Schools International. Although we aren't here to talk about that, we will cover that in a later video. LifeQuest Institute was created to guide you into the new earth. So, with the current events beginning to accelerate, we knew we had to reach out to you today. So let's jump right into it, Anna.
I'm ready to jump into it. And I must say, I'm really happy to be here.
Ah, me too.
It's really good to be back.
It is. It is.
Not so great on the circumstances.
Right.
It's trauma. Everybody's feeling it. On one scale or another, you're feeling very traumatic about things that are going around. And it doesn't matter where in the world that you're located.
This is global.
It's global.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So mostly, probably, on the news that you're watching, a lot of fear mongering. And this is what we need to discern. What is fear mongering or the truth?
Right.
And so we got to really start tapping into our intuitive selves.
Excellent.
And develop that. We have to develop that to discern. So I can tell you for me, what I do is I will research. I will research to the hilt. Yes. And I will research both sides. And once I have both sides, then I can tell which direction that I'm headed in because I'm putting the pieces together and discerning. It's not always a happy answer.
Right.
It's awkward and amazing.
Yes.
Stuff that's creating the trauma. But once you sort of know more information, like wisdom is knowledge, so then you can kind of just gather up the pieces and not have those sleepless nights,
right.
Not have that extra anxiety and confusion. And then if you add to it the children, and then how do we make them feel and have a comfort level? Because the majority of the world is there is no school. So, what are we saying to them? And how are we coming across to them? And are they more fearful than us and having trauma at night and nightmares?
Right.
And so it's a lot.
And that's pretty much what we put this together, is pretty much to guide you into this new earth consciousness. You are on Awaken the Shift group, so you have some awareness of the shift in consciousness.
Yeah. And voila, finally it's here. How long has the Awaken to the Shift group been around?
I know, 2012. Yeah.
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 So now, for those who've ever questioned, okay, the shift, it's all about the shift. You tell your friends, your family, the shift, they think you're crazy.
Right.
And now this is the beginning of it. I mean, it's kind of been slowly progressing, but this is kind of like a pop. I
right.
mean, this is
a good uptick. It's bringing the global together. And I'd say another thing, with using your discernment, other things to relieve stress, there's an exercise I do called STOP. So if you start reading stuff and you're starting to get caught up in all the media or what's going on out there, tell yourself to stop and focus in the now. Literally tell yourself that. And what you're doing is you're bringing all your awareness. So like right now, what am I sitting on? I'm sitting on a chair. What's it feel like? It's cloth. Where are my feet? They're on the floor. It's a wooden floor. What's it smell? I can smell kind of heat, not like a heat in here, really. Actually, it's kind of it's from all the equipment. So you're bringing all your senses into the now. So what's really happening? Nothing, right? It's your mind. You're getting caught up in your mind. Your mind's bringing you into this trauma. But stop it and focus in the now.
I think when you focus in the now and just have that attitude of stop, it helps you to just kind of level it off so that your mind doesn't run away with you. So right. if your mind doesn't run away with you, you take that stop moment, even over a cup of tea, and sit on the back porch and watch the leaves bouncing back and forth and feel that as a rocking motion of protection even.
Right.
So, but that's just an idea of what you can do, but most importantly, just to stop so that you can calm down the emaciations that might be going on in your mind.
Right.
So, okay, so we're going to talk about the shift a little bit?
Yeah, so with the shift, like my studies, when I started getting into all this, was probably the mid-90s, and I got into the Hermetic arts and sciences. It was more about the mystery teachings of ancient Egypt, Then I got into the Seth material, which was channeled by Jane Roberts in the late 90s. And then I got into the Elias material probably around 2002. I took a pretty deep dive into that for about 8 years. It gave me a good framework of what the shift in consciousness is, what it entails. So what I'll try to do right now, real briefly, is just give you some, some bullet points on that.
Timeline maybe?
Yeah, like a timeline. And then in future videos, I will break down these concepts and introduce more concepts in later videos. As well as Anna, she's got her whole education. She's got a PhD. She's got it in metaphysics. She's a master's degree in behavioral, right?
Yep, behavior.
So we've got it pretty much self-mastery all the way to spiritual mastery. So what we're going to do is we are going to start breaking down the concepts that brought us to where we have gotten, and then deliver that material in future videos. We are back. We will be continuing to put out videos each week. And then I've spent the last 4 years building an online learning platform. We're going to release that in phases. So get ready.
I think we have been away and we have prepared, and all of a sudden it's upon us. So we may have to jump, hop, and skip to get to the gate, and here we are, because the shift is propelling.
Right.
It's exasperated.
Right.
It's what we've been waiting for.
Right. So with the shift, the world population right now is currently experiencing great upheavals. But we knew this. Well, I knew this just from my training. Right now, we are going through a shift in consciousness, which is expanding our awareness. Okay. It started around 1900, and it's going to end approximately around 2075. So what it's doing, it's increasing or widening our awareness. So when we are awake, we function with our objective mind, objective awareness, objective consciousness, whatever you want to call it. When we are dreaming or using our imagination, we are using our subjective awareness, subjective consciousness. Okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have the objective and you have subjective. Now the objective awareness and the subjective awareness always work in harmony, but they use different languages, okay? And what we're going to learn how to decipher our subjective awareness languages, okay? So, because right now we have forgotten the language of the subjective. We think it's unconsciousness, subconscious is deep, deep down, when in reality it's not. It's like right there. We just got to tune into it.
Yeah, we have to get it. We have to get it back.
Right.
It got lost along the way.
Right. And with that, our subjective awareness holds the remembrance of who and what we really are. Okay, so that's coming back to us, because remember, you've all heard the veil of forgetfulness. We needed to forget that so we could focus on this lifetime. In your lifetime, you don't need all your past lifetimes and all this stuff kind of bringing your focus. But because we chose for this shift to come now, and we chose to bring our subjective into our objective mind. And some of you, this is probably sounding, kind of crazy, but
Not for many.
Right. Okay, so for our part, we are meeting our own beliefs, and sometimes with surprise, or unfortunately, many times with tremendous trauma, okay, physically and emotionally. We are learning that our perception creates all of our personal reality. Okay, and it is strongly influenced by our beliefs. So we have a process called NERA. And I'll go into this in later videos. So really, beliefs assist. Well, your perception creates your reality, not your thoughts. Your perception creates your reality. That drives the bus. Your beliefs influence your perception. We have beliefs, and I'm going to go into future videos about this. And what you're trying to do is you want to notice these beliefs, identify and recognize them, and then address to them, and then transcend them. We call it NERA. NERA. And I'll go into that, and this will help you, because as you transcend these beliefs, it widens your awareness. And the whole objective in the shift in consciousness is to widen our awareness.
So I think ultimately the current flu bug that's going around, right, which is causing all of the current anxiety and confusion, is a mechanism to propel the shift. And again, it's something we've been waiting for. So it's very exciting times instead of fearful times, especially since we've wanted to be here. It's like we raised our hands and said, put me in, coach, put me in.
Absolutely. Another thing is we are energetic beings. So with our thoughts, and if you have traumatic thoughts, you are adding to the collective consciousness, which is propelling more trauma, right? So we all you need to get around your friends and family and just let everybody know everything's going to be all right. Granted, you can't explain a lot of this to them, but we have to get everybody to kind of be even keel.
So it's kind of like we can be kind of stuck in all the fear mongering and ride that wave, or we can vibe high. And vibing high and moving from that wave and staying centered, getting in the now moment, and just staying focused on what's in front of you,
right,
instead of all of the noise that's out here.
Excellent.
So it's here.
Excellent. All right. So I this is our first video back. Hope you enjoyed it.
I'm glad to be here because it's important. People are waiting. You can go down the page and look at all the trauma. You can look at all. Oh, that's a very important thing I'd like to talk about, actually. The two different aspects of the shift.
Okay. Okay, so you have the disclosure aspect of it. So there's been a lot of criminal activity in our world since millennia. That all has to bubble up so we can see it and transcend it. Well, we got to recognize it. So there's a lot of activity that's going to be coming out in future months on a global scale.
So when I say that I'm researching, that's the kind of stuff that I'm researching. Right. But I want both ends. I want to make sure that it's really corruption. I want to make sure it's really true, instead of just believing what I'm reading. I'm not doing that anymore.
Right.
So it goes a lot deeper. So the disclosure aspects, you're going to see more of them on the page. You don't like it, please just scroll by. For some of us, we want to know more. It might be something that might add to something that you might be researching. And so that's the disclosure aspects. Accept them as far as information that you could use. And if you don't need it, just scroll by. And then the second part of the shift is the spiritual portion.
Right.
So, and that's typically what we've been seeing on Awaken the Shift page is the spiritual aspects, all the love and light. But to get to true love and light or more love and light, we've got to push through all the disclosure aspects.
Right. We are going to put up, we're both going to, I haven't been active, been working on a platform. Anna's been on the wall in the group. We're both going to be active from this point forward. And we are looking to drive this number. We're at about 26,000. If we could get this up to around 50,000 people and everybody's awakening,
at the same time.
Right.
Yeah. Clever.
Yeah. Excellent. All right.
I'm happy. I'm happy to be here. Happy to see you all.
Excellent. All right. So until our next video, everybody have a great weekend. Anna?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Create a great day.